Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kat Timpf Show. Today I have Tom Shillue of Red Eye with Tom Shillue.
Yeah, that's it.
How you doing?
Good. I mean, I'm here.
You're here.
Yeah.
You just got back from the dentist.
Oh, I wasn't going to mention it because people will be listening for it.
Now they're going to listen. Okay, well, definitely did not get back from there. How you doing? You're doing all right?
I'm sensitive at the dentist. I don't know if you are. You're blonde.
Uh-huh.
And redheads are more sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So anesthesia doesn't work on them.
Yeah.
And I'm, even though I'm not a redhead, I kind of am.
I was going to say, you're not a redhead at all.
But I live as one. You know what I mean? Like, I might as well. I'm treated as one.
You do have kind of a redhead vibe.
Yeah.
At your core.
The thing is, people call me a redhead all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Like, they say, that redhead, like, they act like I'm a redhead.
That's interesting. Like, you mean like on the internet, like on Twitter?
Yeah. And they say, oh, he looks just like Conan O'Brien. It must be the red hair and the face and whatever. It's like they just put red hair on my head. Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. So, yeah, Red Eye, you've had about like a year now,
1
right?
year.
1 year?
Exactly.
When was just now was your 1 year anniversary?
It was actually last week.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
That's very exciting. I know
so fast.
You've had, I've even just like, I know you, obviously. I've known you from, like, even before Red Eye, and I was just looking at your, like, even your Wikipedia page, and I'm just like, you've done, like, absolutely everything in the comedy world that's possible to do.
I know. I mean, that's what happens with time. Like, time goes by. I started in the early 90s, so things are just going to happen,
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like, well, the barbershop quartet thing, I feel like not everybody does. I mean, you still do that, right? You're doing the...
Yes. In fact, I was watching Fish online the other day.
Uh-huh. No way.
Yeah, they were singing a 4-part a cappella version of Ground Control to Major Tom, Space Oddity, right? It was great.
Yeah, I said if you take, that bus is going to be brutal that I'm taking this weekend.
So,
4-hour Greyhound.
And it's a 2-day Fish concert?
Yeah.
And I'm surprised you're a Fish person.
I like music. I like music festivals. I've seen Fish before two other times. I don't like listen to Fish outside of Fish concerts.
Yeah.
But I kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of a fun event to go to.
You like the people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like, want them to be my best friends forever, but they're like, fun people to hang out with. It's like a fun vibe.
Why is it that they're like, why are they like the Dead in that they have that kind of following? What is it?
I don't know. I mean, they play like a lot of different music, like played like the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper album, like the whole album one time when I saw them.
Yeah.
And like, it's really cool, but I just don't know what this bus is going to be. The Greyhound bus is always like a real nightmare.
Yeah.
It's like really scary. I mean, that's where they give the free tickets from, or the tickets from prison to people, right? Isn't that true?
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's that many people going to Saratoga from prison.
It's just a lot of work to do that. I can't imagine doing it myself.
Yeah, I mean, I am going to have to go on. I messed up. I was planning on taking the train, but it's all sold out.
Yeah.
All too many hippies going to.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I've taken. I mean, the Greyhound bus. I've been afraid I'm gonna die on before, like for sure.
I mean, what if someone's like a horrible person next to you?
Yeah, I know. I've gone alone. I've sat next to some people that just smell awful.
Yeah.
I was sat next to somebody who was calling all of his friends on the way. Like I was going somewhere in Ohio to look for somewhere to take a shower when they got into town, and I was like, okay, well that sucks.
There's nothing like a bus. It's really like there's nothing like it. I mean, it's full of people, and it's like it's so blue collar.
Yeah.
Like I want to be on the bus. Like I want to be a bus guy.
Yeah, but you're not.
No.
You're an airplane guy.
Yeah. And even the train is hard for me to take now.
Really? Why?
Because it's just it's hard to get on a train. It takes so long, and it's like I don't know. I like the Northeast Corridor. I mean, if you go to DC, the train is probably a better option. But the idea of like taking the train, it's terrible. Yeah,
I mean, well, I'm always scared I'm going to fall asleep and then wake up at the wrong stop. That would be like my biggest nightmare in the world because I would have. I did that once on the subway where I woke up like Coney Island. I woke up in Coney Island at like 4 a.m.
Yeah,
that is not a nice.
What is that? N train?
Yeah. Not a fun, nice little family friendly place at 4 a.m.
You can't do that.
No, I can't. I did that.
I mean, that's like a dude will do that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah.
That's like.
Oh, how many kids do you have?
2.
2 kids. How old are your kids?
10 and 7.
So you're dead. You have boys, girls. I know nothing about your family. Yeah, 2 daughters. So you're picturing one of your daughters going alone on a Greyhound bus overnight.
Yeah.
Would you? Yeah, no, definitely. My dad freaks out about it. Also, I don't know if you've.
I mean, the bus is like. I know we should do that's what we should do one time is do the podcast with Dad Timpf. Where is he?
Dad Timpf, he's in Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, he and I would probably get along.
You probably would get along great. Yeah, he probably did. Yeah, absolutely would get along great. Everybody gets along great with my dad, but you guys are. I mean, I don't know. I mean, so for stand up, are you still doing like what are you still doing stand up wise? I know you're like
once a month I try to get out and headline.
Yeah.
And then. Sometimes running around. I did Broadway Comedy Club the other night. Yeah. After the show. Mm-hmm. But just little shows around town. Yeah. And then, I'm trying to get out and do live up to the headlining status. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I got to keep it going.
Well, you obviously you opened for Jim Gaffigan a lot. That was like what your thing was for
the past few years.
For years, right?
Yeah.
That
was
like?
cushy. It was so cushy, because it's like 3,000 people. Yeah. And you come out and open the show, and it was just, you just knock them over. It was so easy. You just come out and throw strikes all the time. Yeah.
When it's a crowd like that. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to open a show in a club, but not in a theater with a Jim Gaffigan crowd. Yeah. It was all families, and it was great. It was great.
What was it like working with? I've never met him. I don't know. What was it like working with him?
Well, we started together, so we have a long history, and so it's exactly what you think. Like we do the gig, and then we only talk about comedy and stand up and stuff like that, and then we get I'd come home, my wife would be like, how's his kids? I'm like, I don't know. Like we didn't, we talked about the same stuff we did in the 90s, and then sometimes I would be driving, like we'd be in the car together, and then we'd go to a fast food place and we'd eat, and he's obsessed with food, right? Like where we're going to eat our next meal, right? And then we'd be having, burgers in the afternoon on the way to the gig. And then he'd be like, okay, what are we going to do after the gig for dinner? Like, let's plan now. So he'd look up the steakhouse, and we would just think about the steakhouse all day. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was just crazy Gaffigan time. Yeah. Have you ever had I feel like a lot of his fans, he probably has a pretty functional fan base for the most part. Yeah, they're great. Yeah. You've not had you don't have to, you ever need anyone ever Cuckoo Bananas fans? Or not so much? They're, it's a cross section. So it's not just families. It's like, you get families, you get people bringing their teens along. Yeah. You get the grandparents coming along, 3 generations of families coming along. And then you get then there's kind of like weirdos, couples. Yeah. Like goth couples. And for some reason, you don't know why they're Gaffigan fans.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's interesting.
But yeah, out in the Midwest, these real alternative kind of goth types will come to the show, and they have piercings and everything. And they really they would buy the VIP tickets and come and meet him afterwards. Mm-hmm. And they were really huge Gaffigan fans, the real hardcore ones.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's it's like Red Eye fans that way. Yeah. The couples that come and they're oh, we watch you every night, and they kind of they're together. Yeah. They're an interesting breed.
Well, it's just interesting too, because you're a wholesome dude, right? Like Gutfeld's always says, you must have bodies hidden in your basements because you're such a nice guy.
I know. I mean, not because he has any information, but that's he thinks that because I'm so straight laced or whatever he seems to think. But yeah, I would say I'm a wholesome guy.
Yeah, you're a wholesome guy, and it's you do comedy, and you have a 3 a.m. Well, now you have a 3 a.m. show. I just you'd probably have to spend a lot of time around unsavory.
Well, that's what stand-up was. In the 90s, it was with all these ne'er-do-wells, mm-hmm. And so when I started, I was definitely, I wasn't ready for this kind of the rough New York stand-up crowd. Yeah. But you know, I kind of got used to it. And when we started, you know, our acts were like a little bit dirty, like me and Jim.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really us. You know, so it's like it changed because it was never really right. You know, but I had to be like, I would have to swear on stage just to keep up. Yeah. You know, just
You'd have to swear.
Yeah. I mean, it was like just to have credibility. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's a different scene now. Yeah. You know, I was talking to Kissel about this. Yeah. Like, it's just a less, you know, no one was nice at all back then. Like, everyone was just not nice. Yeah. Was there ever a moment where you're like, oh, shit? Like, what was like I mean, like, cause where are you from? Like, Massachusetts.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, were you like, what have I gotten myself into type of a thing? I'm just like trying to picture you in like a 90s comedy club setting.
I know. It was like, well, when I started in Boston, I was in a comedy group and I didn't think I could do stand up because it was Boston. Yeah. So I would go to the clubs and it was just like, this fucking guy sucks. Get the fuck out of here. Everything was like angry Boston. Yeah. And I was like, geez, like I know Bob Newhart. Like that's my hero. You know? And so I didn't know if there was going to be a place for my Bob Newhart style comedy in the Boston scene. Right. And then I moved, by way of Florida, I moved to New York. And then it was like, I was trying to, you know, create this like, you know, there were characters back then like Emo Phillips and they were weirdos, you know? Yeah. So I knew I was like a little bit weird. I wasn't going to be like, you know, Dave Attell or something. I mean, he's weird, I guess, but I wasn't going to be like a hard-edged New York comic, you know? Yeah. So I tried to create this kind of character and it was like a slightly naive guy, you know what I mean? Yeah. And because that's what the audience, that's the way they treated me anyway, you know? Yeah. So, you know, it took me like 10 years to even break in though, you know? Yeah. And I couldn't get on. I couldn't get auditions for all the shows. Yeah. You know, like the stand-up shows. While it was guys like Voss and, you know, and Jim was doing well. Like he was getting in there. But even they didn't like him. Yeah. He wasn't part of that cool crowd that Rich Voss was in. So I was going to say there was probably, I mean, what was your very first time on TV ever? Do you remember? Conan, 99. Yeah, you remember? Yeah. Was that like? It was big. It was network TV. Yeah. You know, late night with Conan O'Brien. And I did a 5-minute set and it was just a good, you know, good set. But that took me till 91 to 99 to get on TV. Yeah. And you needed to get on TV then. It wasn't like, oh, I can just be a comic and have a following. Comic. Yeah. Like there was nobody cared about you. You know, there was no following. Yeah. That's true. I can't even imagine, like, comedy. This is so millennial of me, but like comedy without social media, how did anybody know who you are? Like, you were just a function of your TV credits. Yeah. That's interesting. Now everyone's got a web series and well, you do all that. You do like Periscope and you're on the net. Yeah, I mean, I love doing that stuff, and it's great. It's a great. I wish I could start now. You know. Yeah. Because I think I'd be good at it. Breaking in now. Yeah. But then I was like, you know, I had commercials. That was good. Yeah. Because that got me on TV. I've seen you like even at like when I'm at home, like that one commercial. I don't know what it was. It was like last Christmas, and I saw you on my TV. Oh yeah. Constantly. What was a car? You were in a car. I don't know. I don't remember. That's right. Oh yeah. It was booking.com. Booking.com. Yeah. Running big during the holidays, and I saw a lot of Tom Shillue in my living room. Well, it was good. It was good to make money, right? Yeah. Because I started probably like 92, 93. I would start booking commercials. Yeah. But it was also good to show people that you were legitimate. Right. You know, they're like, oh, that guy's not like, you would show up at the clubs and they'd be like, oh, that's that guy that's in that spot. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you had, it was a way for me to have credibility before I had the stand-up credibility. Yeah. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Well, I mean, I'm like sitting here looking at this, you did the barbershop quartet with Fallon. You performed with Justin Timberlake. Is that true? That's actually true. Yeah, yeah. In fact, you know, this story that broke this week, right? Yeah. It was pitched for Red Eye. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to talk about Timberlake because then someone's going to, you know, someone will be like, oh, he's a jerk or whatever. And then I'm going to have to defend him because now he's my buddy because we sang Barbershop together. So I was like, I don't even want to do the show, you know, because I love Timberlake because you know, when you do something with someone, you like them. So I like him for life now because I sang Barbershop with him. Yeah. And he was great. Yeah. He was a fun guy. Jimmy loves him to death.
Yeah.
And they're just like giddy around each other. They love joking around and everything. And he loves comedy.
Yeah.
You know, so all the bits on the show, he was really getting into them, you know.
Yeah.
And he was backstage and he was talking to the writers and, you know, everything like that. And he gives it his all. He's like a performer, you know what I mean? So when this thing came out, I was like, no, I don't even want to talk about the story because I'm just going to be pro Timberlake. Yeah. You know, so let's just not do it.
I'm definitely pro Timberlake. I've never met him. He just seems like he's having a good time.
Yeah. I mean that guy with that speech and the, I cannot deal with that story with the fact that he had to apologize.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. Sorry for saying I was into a guy. Like, it's so ridiculous.
I know. Like, I feel like if the biggest problem that you can think of, like, race-wise, is that somebody liked what you said, like, like that, like, I feel like it's not so bad as it used to be. Yeah. Right? Well, you talk about all that kind of stuff on Red Eye all the time, like, well, someone says this is offensive, someone said this is sexist, someone said this. It's just like every single day. Yeah. I know I write about that all the time, but it just starts to probably drive you crazy. It would, you know.
After a while, it's like, are we going to do this again? Yeah. You know, but it's like, if everyone's doing a story where someone's getting outraged at it, then I want to do the one where we laugh at the people who are getting outraged. Yeah. You know, so if we can do that story every night, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, the best thing that ever happened on TV was that Trigglypuff, the college student jumping up and down.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I don't know. And you're you know, talking about, like, you know, this election's not a bad one after your first year, but are you a Trump guy? Are you like a...
Yeah, I love Trump.
You love Trump, right?
I love Trump more because I don't even agree with his politics, but I love him. Yeah. That's why I can't believe people are down on him. Like, I guess if you, like, if you are against his politics, that's fine, right? Which some people are. But the idea that they're against his personality, which is so fun. Yeah. Like, what's wrong with it?
Right. I know what you mean. Because I'm against his politics, but I personally, like, a lot of things that people don't like about him are not the issues that I have. I'm not, like, horrified by something he said where I'm like, oh my God, like, fun guy. I'm sure I've never met him, but how would he not be a fun guy?
And he's fun for us because he supplies us with an endless amount of stories, right? So that's good.
And then, like, what is Hillary doing? Like, she's boring. She's the most boring.
She's the worst. I mean, finally we can talk about her tonight. Yeah, because of Benghazi, and there's actual stories you can talk about. Yeah. But yeah, she's horrible for the story. Some days I'm like, I have 3 Trump stories and no Hillary stories.
She's not doing anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and they're like, why don't you pick on Hillary? What are you doing? You know, and it's like, A, I'm not picking on Trump. Right. I'm having a great time with him. Yeah. B, Hillary is boring.
Yeah. She's absolutely boring. And then the way that to talk about Hillary is like talk about people who say criticizing her as sexist and this and that and all the other thing. I'm really excited for the Trump-Hillary debates.
Yeah. I mean, or even before that. I mean, it's just, you know, I'm excited that he's attacking her. Like she's not corrupt Hillary. What is she? She's
Crooked Hillary.
Crooked Hillary. Like anybody else would not be fighting her. They wouldn't. They just lay down. Yeah. And people are like, oh, well, you know, Trump, it's like, you know, what if we lose this election? And it's like, first of all, we would have lost. We will lose. We will always lose. Yeah. Like Mitt Romney. Yes. Should have won. He didn't. Right. So it's over. Like if that wimpy milquetoast of a Republican went down and was called like sexist and racist and everything else, it's like, then they're all done. So I might as well have a complete like alpha lunatic with the yellow hair out front. Like I love the guy. Like he is, and there's something about, I don't know, like he did well in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. There's something about like you know, I was talking again. Kissel was like, you know, Kissel doesn't like Trump, right? Yeah. And he's like, I'm like, it's Midwestern. Like Wisconsin really was anti-Trump. Yeah. There's something about the Midwest. They don't like rude people or something. Yeah. And I like rude people.
I love rude people. Yeah. I prefer them.
Yes. And so it's like, I think like the Northeast likes Trump, you know, and the South obviously likes Trump, but it's like there's something about it that he has to convince. If he can win over the Kissel type of guy, then he'll win. Yeah. But there's a lot of guys that are like, I don't know about that guy. Like they don't like his uncouthness and his lack of intellectual rigor, you know? Yeah. And I think he's smart, but I like I like his short sentences. I like his juvenile qualities.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just it's funny what you say. Like, yeah, Romney. If he said he's being called sexist and whatever for just nothing, then how may as well go for it.
Yeah, I mean, Romney and Bush were so politically correct, and it didn't do him any good. Like Bush lied, people died, and then like the binder full of women.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, if we can't get Romney elected after Obama was like second term, he should have lost.
Yeah.
Then there's no future for Republicans. And so maybe this weird Trump-like beast is the future.
Trump-like beast meaning Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, God. All right. Well, you know what? You know what I've been thinking about a lot is Green Chef's USDA certified organic meal kits. They make it easy to cook healthy, and you can feel great about where your food comes from.
Where does it come from?
It's organic, okay? And they deliver it everything you need to cook healthy, delicious dinners right to your door. Organic, non-GMO ingredients, pre-chopped and pre-measured to help you get dinner on the table an average of 30 minutes, which is 50% faster than any other meal kit. Think about this. No shopping, no planning, no commitment. Commitment, you might be a commitment guy. I don't know. Commitment's kind of hard for me. You can skip weeks and cancel whenever you want. You can switch between meal plans or menus as much as you like. They have paleo options, vegetarian options, gluten-free options, and now vegan options also.
Vegan? You mean vegan?
Vegan options, as in plant-based meals.
Yeah.
And whether you're cooking for yourself, date night, family dinner, or even, you know, a nice little lovey time dinner, Green Chef makes mealtime fun, delicious, and stress-free. Special offer for Kat Timpf Show listeners. Enjoy 4 free meals when you sign up. greenchef.com/kat, greenchef.com/KAT as in me.
That sounds like a great deal.
Yeah. Did I do a good job?
Yeah.
Those are, I'm learning how to do those. You know,
it's like, what do they call that? Like a cold read, or?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I've been doing some different. I don't know. I mean, did you like? I commercial. I don't know. I always feel a little. But that was good. You're very impressed.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It wasn't like, you know, I used to listen to in the old radio days. It was like the guys would be able to do them without. You didn't know they were reading an ad?
Yeah.
They would just work it into conversation.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you'd be like, oh, wait a minute, he's doing the ad.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's when you get there, that's when you can really.
I've pulled it off like once or twice, but at least to myself, I've considered that I pulled it off once or twice. I don't really know. That was your storytelling show that I think that's where I went there. You had Gavin on.
Yeah,
I had Gavin on the show, so everybody knows he's a fun guy.
Yeah, I mean he's great. He's a great guy to hang out with.
Yeah,
and, he's not as crazy as people might think.
I know, that's the thing.
He's just crazy for media.
Yes,
you know, like when he's on, and he's not even crazy for media. Like his show is pretty normal.
Yeah.
But when you get him on like a network,
yeah,
he's going to do or say things that are, you know, not do or sayable.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's like, oh, I saw you were like on Gavin. They get like, watch out. I'm like, Gavin is the nicest man.
Yeah.
If you look at his Instagram, like a lot of it is like his pancakes for his children.
Yeah.
And his kids are hilarious. Like it's just, but that's fun. You know, it's easy. You know, you never know what is or is not going to set people off. Like, remember that Star Wars thing that was on your show? When I made that one comment.
I can't believe it. I mean, that was a red eye milestone.
It was everywhere.
But it took like it wasn't right away, right?
No, it was like a month or more.
That shows you. It just was somebody had posted it at the right time in the right place.
Yeah. And then all those nerds were making these videos like, Fox News, Katherine Timpf thinks she's attractive. She's not attractive. She hates Star Wars. You know, blah, 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 blah. They're like going on and on. But people said, they promoted me. They're like Fox News host.
Yeah.
Like that they were thinking I was like, I was making a Star Wars joke on on a newscast instead of like a 3 a.m.
Well, everything is. It's like they always have the headline, Fox News host says this, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll invariably say something, usually on the 5, because we're talking about more serious stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll say something and then the raw story or, you know, they'll just write the headline, Fox News says, and they make it up. It's a lie.
Yeah,
like
it's always a lie.
It's like, you can go ahead and you can quote me out of context. Like, you can feel free to do that, but they don't. They just say, you know, I was once talking about pro-gentrification. Like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, people move out of the neighborhood and then other people come in. It was a very reasonable monologue.
Right.
And they said, Fox News host says, gentrification good because poor people smell bad. Which was a made-up thing. Like, I didn't say poor people smell bad. I didn't.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they just said that in the headline. And then they go on to the story. And then if you look at the video they provided, I don't say poor people smell bad.
That's what's so interesting to me, too, is like, I remember me and Joanne and Ryan Reese, we did a Fox and Friends thing. We were talking about, like, it was basically the story was like, men don't care as much about sense of humor as women do in men or whatever. And like, they were like, Fox News hosts say, like, the mistake that funny women make is to, like, you know, for people not, they just shouldn't talk, or like women shouldn't talk was like the headline.
Yeah.
And like Joanne, like, she said something like, oh, if a guy's just like looking for someone to like hook up with, he doesn't matter what she says, kind of a thing. It's just completely not what happened.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure like me and Joanne are sitting on the couch saying, listen, ladies, don't talk. You should never talk.
Yeah. So was it like Media Matters or something?
It was, I believe it was Salon.
Yeah.
Maybe it's always like Salon or like Media Matters or Raw Story.
Yeah.
Like, those are the ones that they just sit around all day. They're like, okay.
Fox News hosts, women should stay home.
Yeah. Fox News hosts say, women are making a mistake when they talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I talk for a living, first of all. Like, I don't understand. I mean, or, you know, like Red Eye, like when they'll present, like, if it's something someone said on Red Eye, they'll present it as if it was said, like, on, like, the 6 o'clock news.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's, like, not like a comedy show.
They usually stay away from Red Eye because they know better, but occasionally they...
Not always.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen, I don't remember didn't Gutfeld get in trouble a while ago for saying, like, Canada didn't have, like, a police force or something?
That was, like, a major scandal.
Major scandal, yeah.
They were, like, calling his mother at home.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but like, that's how I felt when I went through the Star Wars thing. That was a major thing.
Yeah.
Like, I had to be in contact with the FBI because people were actually like, I'm going to be at your house at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'm going to murder you. And, oh, I'm going to murder your father. And like, they like knew, like, and I'm like, this is crazy. But I was
so did anyone get in legitimate trouble or?
No, I don't think they did. I mean, I didn't really take the threat seriously, but yeah, the Greg's, it's like, you make these jokes and you're having a good time and you're all like on the panel and hardy ha ha ha, and like, you're not even really thinking about it. It's just like, it's like the vibe of just like being at the bar with your friends.
Yeah.
And you're on a show like that. And the next thing you know, you wake up in the morning and people are trying to kill you.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But I feel like you've pretty much steered clear of too many, but it obviously it happens to everybody. But it's like, nobody loves Fox News more than the people that like hate Fox News.
Yeah, I mean, they watch it all day.
Yeah, they watch it all day. They're obsessed.
Yeah.
You know, I have people who follow me, and you know, and they're like, every time I'm on, they're telling me I'm a stupid like bimbo idiot bitch, whatever, racist bitch, idiot bimbo slut. And then I go to their feed and it's just them saying that to Fox News hosts only.
Yeah.
I'm like, try turning like the channel.
Yeah.
If you clearly are not a fan, or you clearly are.
It's on all day in their home. It's unbelievable. Especially Fox and Friends. They wake up and they're like obsessed, like kill meat. I mean, like, you know, that just shows you how lazy they are at like the Daily Show and stuff, because they're always using killed meat. Yeah. Because it's just like they wake up, he's there, they turn it on, they take him out of context, then they make it, you know. But yeah, they love the Fox and Friends.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. And it's like, why are you up at like 6 a.m. watching doing this? Or what?
Unbelievable.
Fox and Friends. And it's like, kill me. And that show, I mean, that's not easy to do that, like host that show, I would imagine. Like, it's like, even on the weekends, it's like 4 hours.
It's horrible.
You've done it, right?
No, I've never guessed on there. I've done Outnumbered and The Five. And they're very, you know, managed.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh, sometimes it's breaking news, but it's like, it's very produced.
Yeah.
And so, and you're surrounded by experts and stuff.
Yeah.
But with, those shows, those morning shows, that would be so hard. You just have to talk.
You have to talk. And Fox and Friends, it's like you could be talking about anything from Benghazi to like, this bear cub saved a veteran.
Yeah.
He's here live.
Yeah, that's what makes it hard, is having that like light attitude.
Yeah.
That's why they're Kill Me's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I do this show. I do Fox and Friends pretty often, and I love it. I mean, I've never hosted it, obviously, but I'm on it, and it's just really fun. And they'll be like, hey, Kat, come over here, like, eat a cheeseburger, like, whatever you tell me to do, I'll do it, I'll help you out. But these people have to go back and forth and talk about some of, like, the most depressing, like, horrible things in the world. Like, the day that kid was eaten by that alligator or whatever.
Yeah,
like
they have to do it.
They have to do that, and then they have to be like, up next, you won't believe all these cute puppies and these, like, T-ball team, like, and I'm like, this is just got to be emotionally taxing.
Absolutely. And then they, because they do have to lighten it up. It's similar to Red Eye in that way, that they have to kind of have a laugh and that kind of thing. But we just don't do it. Like, I didn't do the alligator at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Whenever I have to go on. And that makes sense to me why you wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're reporting the news, obviously it's something you need to report. But stories like that, if I've ever, like, on a panel show, even if it's like radio, TV, anything, and people want to talk about it, I'm like, what am I don't know. I'm anti that happened. Like, what kind of hot take am I going to have? This is a bet. I'm anti the kid getting drowned by an alligator.
Right.
Like, what else? It's very sad.
We did I almost wanted to do that because there were people saying, the social justice people were tweeting, this is like white privilege or whatever, like, because the dad, he doesn't know this is white people don't know how to follow signs or whatever. Someone tweeted about white people.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and they got, yelled at for it, and she wouldn't back down order. So I almost wanted to do the story then.
Right.
But in the end, you have to talk about a kid getting eaten by an alligator, so I'm like, no.
Yeah, absolutely, which I just made you do now. But
I know.
Because there was a difference between, like, they said it was, the people were blaming the parents of the gorilla kid because they were, like, black or something. The boy was black and this kid was white and this and that. It's like, not everything's about race.
Yeah.
Not every single story is about race. And
it is to a certain group of people. It is, and it's not black people. It's like mostly white people.
Yeah.
They're gonna make everything about white privilege. They won't stop talking about it.
Like the Redskins thing. Like that was like how it was like 9 out of 10 don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
We were like still banning it.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, but what about the white people that are very, very upset? Like, we gotta do something about that. I mean, all day this is like what I look for, and it just kind of does start to bum me out after a while. And
did you work at Campus Watch?
Campus Reform.
Campus Reform.
I did. I absolutely did.
That's great. I like getting stories from them. That's one of the sites I check for stories. And whenever I can, because they always have good social justice insanity stories.
Yeah.
And it's all over the place, right? It's just a lot of different young people contributing to it, right?
Yeah. It's all over the place. It's based in Arlington, Virginia, but like there's people all over the place that contribute to it. And I worked there for a while. And it was, that's how I first got on Fox. And my very first time is I wrote a story about feminists that editing Wikipedia or whatever to try to make it like with articles about science to try to make them more feminist.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
I was like, why would you do? And I actually got a hold of the woman and she was like, well, to like make it more like feminist and then I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. And they were getting college credit. So I talked about that. I'm like, what does that even mean? The way that feminism now it embarrasses me as like a woman. It really, really does. Like, I mean, like I wrote this thing yesterday. They were saying that there's microaggressions in the SAT questions. For example, there was a chart in one of the math questions that said that there was more boys than girls overall in math classes, which is true. And what these social justice tutors were basically saying is that even though there was no difference in how girls and boys did on that question, the reason that girls may have done bad on the test or more like worse on the test overall is because they were so upset by the question.
Yeah.
That they were emotionally devastated to like that they couldn't perform.
They will take questions out of tests that have to do with the ocean.
Yeah.
You know, like if it's a word problem that takes place in a sailboat or by the seashore, they will say that is insensitive to people who don't have access to shoreline property.
Really? That's true.
And it would make them have trauma. And they wouldn't do well because they think that if they adjust these questions in the right way, that poor people will do just as good as rich people. Like they'll make it all, work out evenly when it's not. It has nothing to do with the seashore,
right?
Then and they're not going through trauma that because they're thinking about sailboats that they don't have access to.
Yeah,
they're going through trauma because taking tests is traumatic.
Yeah,
it's like it's hard enough to take a test.
Yeah,
you're not worrying about like, oh, I don't have seashore, property by the, it's ridiculous.
I agree. It's like I think the problems are something else. Whatever these problems, they're not. Yeah, I know. Everything is. Plus, it's impossible. Like, you never know. Like, you try so hard to like make the test perfectly fair, but then maybe there's a passage that describes a city that one kid had a traumatic experience in. Like, it's absolutely impossible.
Yes.
To like everyone is gonna like, it's not like have a question everyone's gonna look at it and be affected the same way because we've all had different life experiences.
Yes.
So, but there's people that are spending a lot of their time doing this, like trying to like remake these tests and this and that. And I was always a pretty good test taker, I gotta say. Yeah,
I was not. I think I don't know what I got on my SATs, but I wasn't like a star.
I loved it. I loved it. I loved school, and I miss school. I'm like a nerd, I guess. I don't know. All right, we've been talking. We're pretty good. I mean, you got to get out of here, but like, by you.
I got to go back to Fox and write.
Yeah.
Red Eye.
You got to write Red Eye.
But I'm in the neighborhood. It's just a block over.
Absolutely. Is there anything you want to like promote or anything before we get going?
No. I mean, I don't have anything. I'm writing a book.
Ooh.
That's not even announced yet. I shouldn't even announce it. I think it's not official yet.
Oh.
But that soon. There'll be an announcement soon about my book coming out. And then it'll be another year. So it's going to be like next Father's Day.
An announcement of an announcement coming up.
And but no, just like Red Eye. That's all I do. My whole life is Red Eye.
Red Eye.
It's great though.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like regular life for the first time in my life. I go to work. We go there. We meet at 2.
Yeah.
And then we decide on the stories, and we write the show, and then we do it at 8.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's wonderful. Well, it's great to see you. Thank you for doing this. Thanks everybody for listening. I don't know how to end shows. I've been with this podcast. Like I ended a speech last week saying bye, and then I ended my podcast saying the same way.
Yeah, you just say bye. I mean, I guess that's all you do. All you got to do is say goodbye. Kissel's great at this. Kissel's the greatest podcaster
I know of all time.
So we've been doing the Red Eye podcast, and he just knows how to, he knows when to bring it to a close.
I know. I know, but I don't know how. So I'm. Bye. Thanks for listening, everybody. Tom, great to see you. All right, everybody. Blah, blah, blah. I'm Ben Kissel. All right, that's it. All right, thanks. Bye.